as you're exercising and as you're maybe going to higher levels of exercising, you're going to start feeling really good about yourself. It's going to give you a sense of accomplishment. And the best thing is that it's under your control, okay? The most important thing that you can do in any situation is realize that so many things are under your control.
Hello, this is Lorraine, and welcome to Healthy Living, Spirit, Soul, and Body. So today we are going to be talking about the importance of exercising and, how many people in this country are out of shape and they're overweight and they have no muscle mass and they're literally, just existing, moving from one chair to the other. It's a dangerous place to be, especially when really exercise is something that you have the ability to do. So my job today is to let you see the importance of exercise to motivate you to take the next step. So let's talk about exercise. Let's talk about why it's healthy for you and some easy things that you can do to incorporate it into your life, okay? Here we go. Okay, so I want to say this first of all, that a lot of times people feel that they can't exercise because they have no energy. But the bottom line is the more you exercise, the more energy you're going to have. So it's like you have to kind of push yourself initially. Okay, but that's why I'm going to give you some good tips to help you get started. But so you may know that the obesity rates in the last 10 years have totally skyrocketed. And for whatever it's worth, and you may already know this, but so much of it has to do with hidden sugars in your food, the additives that they add to food, the food processing, so many different things. However, you are still in control of what you eat. Nobody's forcing you to eat certain things. And realizing that you are in control empowers you, okay? So see it rather than as a detriment that there's nothing I can eat, but you need to see it as an empowerment that, you know what, I can choose. I can read the nutrition label. Okay, if you're watching this channel, you're watching this video, I'm going to assume that you want to get healthy. So, and we know all the things that obesity can cause. It causes a much higher risk of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, so many different things. So what can we do? I'm going to run through a quick list of some of the things that bringing exercise into your life will bring you, okay? So a couple of things. First of all, it will increase your lifespan, okay? It will reduce the risk of injury. And this is an important one. So say, for instance, if you're exercising your arms and your biceps and your back and your shoulders, if you're going to have to lift something over your head, it's going to be easier than if you weren't exercising. There's less chance of you pulling a muscle, slipping your disc and all these different things, right? Because you're exercising. So that's a really important benefit. It's going to improve your insulin levels and your blood sugar control. Less likely to develop type 2 diabetes. It's actually going to prevent cancer, less likelihood of developing certain types of cancer with routine exercise. You're going to have less chance of being obese, decreased chances of osteoporosis and bone fractures with weight-bearing exercises. It's going to help you quit smoking. It's going to reduce the risk of gallstones, and I didn't realize that. Improved cognition, which is really true because the bottom line is when you're exercising, your blood is circulating in a much greater capacity. So it's going to bring more oxygen to your brain. You're going to be clearer thinking, just being real. And it's going to reduce anxiety levels, stress, and clinical depression. I listened to this really good illustration about exercise. And hear me out. It says, when you exercise, you have a surge of norepinephrine, like adrenaline, dopamine, and serotonin. All these neurotransmitters, chemicals flowing in your brain,
and it makes you feel good at that moment, and then they go back to normal levels. So here's your normal level. When you're exercising, it's going to be increase of those neurotransmitters, okay? Then you exercise again and you get a spike in those chemicals, the natural chemicals, and then you go back to your baseline. But when you do that and you're on a regular routine of exercise, your baseline is going to gradually get higher, okay? And do you see the advantage of that? So after you work out, you get the spike in chemicals and go down to your baseline, but the baseline is slightly higher. Now you have a new baseline, and after 60 or 90 days, your brain is feeling pretty good compared to when you first started exercising. Okay. Another thing that exercising is going to bring into your life is it's going to build your confidence. Okay, because the bottom line is, as you're exercising and as you're maybe going to higher levels of exercising, you're lifting, 5-pound weights instead of 3-pound weights, etc., you're going to start feeling really good about yourself. It's going to give you a sense of accomplishment. And the best thing is that it's under your control. Okay? The most important thing that you can do in any situation is realize that so many things are under your control. Okay, so now that you see the benefits of exercising, what's the next step? I would suggest that the most important thing you do is somehow make exercise a routine in your day. Because let's face it, no one has to tell you to brush your teeth every morning, okay? Because it's a routine, it's something that you do, okay? And in the same way, you can make exercise part of your routine. Now, years ago, somebody had a fitness challenge, and they said, this was in October, and they said, let's make the last 90 days of the year count. And this was in 2019. And they said, let's do an exercise for 30 minutes every morning. Now, so at that point, I actually started exercising in the morning, and I realized that, you know what, I had a gym membership at that point, but it was a waste because I was only going to the gym once a week, maybe twice. And then some days, some weeks, I would never go. And I said, you know what, in order for me to really start getting healthy, I'm going to ditch the gym membership and I'm going to do it on my own, because I have a whole lot more control over whether I'm going to start or not. I don't have the mental excuse of saying, oh, I don't want to get in the car, it's too cold out, right? I'm just saying. So that's the first thing that you need to do. You need to schedule time for exercise and make it a routine. When you do that, it's not going to be something that you're going to have to motivate yourself that much anyway. In the beginning, it might be a matter of discipline, but as you do it every day, right? It says if you do something every day for 21 days, it becomes a habit. So you need to make it a habit, okay? And honestly, I have been doing this since 2019, exercising in the morning before I wash my face, before I get dressed, any of those things. And there's hardly a day that has gone by that I didn't do some sort of exercise. That's the most important thing, is to make it part of your routine. Now, of course, as you start, and I know that this happens with people sometimes, you're motivated so much in the beginning that you kind of overdo it, and then it kind of discourages you after that because you're in so much pain. I'm just being real, right? So I would just suggest is to just start with walking workouts. Nothing really strenuous, just to get your body moving and getting it to be part of a routine, okay? And once you do that, then you can increase it. Then you can add maybe 1 day a week of weight training exercises. And just get yourself a pair of 3-pound or 5-pound weights and just, work out with the instructor on the video. I'm just letting you know that there's an alternative to going to the gym, because when you have a gym membership, a lot of times you're spending this money and it's a waste because you're not really getting there, okay? So I really would say that it pays to somehow incorporate the working out in your own home. And the most important thing is that it's part of a routine. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope it gave you some food for thought as far as motivating you to start exercising. Exercising is the key to longevity, honestly. And what I'm going to do is in the description, I'm going to put some links. There's a number of workouts that I enjoy. And try them out. You might like one over another, but all the ones that I put down there are definitely doable. They're not hard, okay? They're not extreme. One of the things that I make sure with me, I'm just being real, is I don't have this, diva on the video, who's like, got no ounce of fat on her body whatsoever, and she's lifting these 15-pound weights. I'm just being real, right? That's not going to motivate me, okay? I want something that's going to be effective and still be easy, okay? When I say easy, it's not extreme, but I'm doing things that really increase my heart rate and that are building muscle. So take a look at the videos, find one that you like, and start incorporating it into your daily routine. So with all the benefits of exercise, I hope that you get started. Get started walking if you can. If it's still summer, start walking outside in the mornings. Get your car and find a mile, okay, around your house, and just make it a mile in the morning. Don't go crazy, like I said, just go for a mile. A mile is about 15 to 20 minutes, okay? And go for a mile and then come back and stretch and, so make it part of your life because it's worth it. It's worth it to increase your lifespan. It's worth it to strengthen your heart, to increase your muscle mass, increase your metabolism, so many different advantages to exercise, okay? So if you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe and like and share it. As you can see, I'm pretty serious about this. This is something that I've been doing literally every day since 2019, and it's worth it. Go for it. You're worth it, and you need to, see your body as something. You are a steward over your body, so it's important to take care of it. So have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.